Okay, you're filming.
Welcome to the Bud Light Score Baja 500 start draw. We're going to start with the Sportsman Quads. There are only two of them, and they are both rear start requests. So we're going to mix them up good. Adolfo Loyo Torres, number 116A, gets the number 2 spot. So that actually means he goes first. And the first rear spot will be 119 Rusty Batza. Our next is Sportsman Moto with 6 competitors and 1 rear start request. So the rear start request is a no draw, and the next 6 competitors will draw for their spots. Ramon Murillo, number 265X, gets number 5 spot. 245X, Jack London, gets the number 3 spot. 271X, Shinichi Yamada, gets the number 1 spot. Hideyuki Fukuoka, number 222X, is the number 4 spot. Fernando Barbosa, 235X, gets the number 6 spot. And number 274X, Luby Abeta, is left with the number 2 spot. Our next draw is for the 2 competitors in Class 60, Susumu Ishii and David Davis. David Davis, number 60-something-X, gets the number 2 spot. And Susumu Ishii is left with the number 1 spot. Class 50 currently has 4 competitors entered for the start draw. And number 520X, Kuboto Sieji, is our first competitor out of the draw. Let's see what he pulls. He pulls the number 1 spot. 520X, Kuboto Sieji, number 1 spot. 515X, Walter Leminovich, pulls the number 4 spot. Robert Mioto pulls the number 2 spot. And Mark Prince left with the number 3. Mark Prince, 501X, number 3. Class 40 has 5 competitors registered for the draw. And Oscar Faz, 403X, pulls the number 2 spot. Coley Potter, 411X, pulls the number 4 spot. 424X, Jeff Powell, pulls the number 1 spot. 444X, Kyle Abney, pulls the number 5 spot. And 404X, Yano Montoya, pulls the number 3 spot. You know, all these guys are running for championships right now. Class 30 has 2 entrants. 301X, Christopher Schultz, and last year's champion, 300X, Mark Winkleman. So Christopher Schultz holds the number 1 position, which leaves Mark at number 2, and that means no change in their current order. Our next class is Ironman, which is the pro solo class. Every mile raced is done by the same racer, and they have 2 rear start requests, Francisco Turan and Brent Valeka. And I'm going to draw those first. So Francisco Turan holds the 2nd rear start, which leaves Brent behind him as first rear start. The next 4 will be drawn for the 4 Ironman competitors who requested front starts. First on my draw list is Kevin Daniels, 706X. He draws the number 1 spot. 7-something-X, Jeer Kellogg draws the number 4 spot. And next is Bo Huckins. 740X draws the number 3 spot. And I believe left for Tony Guerra is the number 2. Number 2, Tony Guerra. All right, now up to the big boys. Pro Moto Unlimited has 10 contestants currently entered for the Score Baja 500. And all 10 requested front starts, no rear starts. So I'm going to draw all 10. First on the list is 45X, Francisco Arredondo. He draws the number 4 spot. Next is 8X, CR Guerrieri. He draws the number 7 spot. 26X, Jim Owens, draws the number 10 spot. X Nicholas Just draws the number 2 spot. 19X Scott Myers draws the number 3 spot. 13X John Winkleman, who is son to Mark Winkleman, our Class 30 championship from last year. Draws the number 9 spot. And 1X Ricky Brabeck, last year's champion in the Pro Moto Unlimited class. Sorry, Ricky, I'm screwing up the draw. Draws the number 8 spot. And Colton Udall, 5X, draws the number 1 spot. Those two are hot on heels of a championship right now. Colton Udall and Ricky Brabeck. 21X, Dustin McCarthy. Draws the number 6 spot. And 3X, Mark Samuels, draws the number 5 spot. All right, I have no draws in Sportsman 1500, Derek Fletcher, and Sportsman 1400, number 1431, Rafferty McDougall. And then I have 18 contestants in Class 19. Pretty big. All right. 18 balls, and the 19th contestant is a rear start, Jorge Hernandez, 1924, so he's a no draw. And I promised Mark Burnett that I would mix these up really well. 1900 class Christopher Lent draws 16 position. 1904 Corey Strappington draws the number 7 position. 1988 Wes Miller draws the number 15 position. 1921 Johnny Engel draws the number 9 position. 1905 Mark Burnett draws the number 8. 1916 Cody Nygren draws the number 11. 1942 Scott McFarland draws the number 4. 1922 Jonathan McVeigh draws the number 9. Which means I was wrong and someone was number 6. Who was number 6?
1921.
1921 Johnny Engel. You're number 6 and I can't read. All right. Sean Cook, 1930. Draws the number 17 position. 1917 Derek Murray. Draws the number 2 position. 1932 Brandon Schuler. Draws the number 18. 1915 Thomas Graves. Draws the number 3. 1908 Justin Lambert. Draws the number 12. 1927 Ben Wilson. Draws the number 5. Alonzo Lopez, number 1949. Draws the number 13. 1971, Wayne Matlock. Woo. Draws the number 14. And that leaves 1946, Jose Juarez, with the number 10. And 1937, Mark Benke, with the number 1. Okay, and that is the end of Class 19. Class 11 only has 2 competitors entered in the start draw. And the first competitor, 1156 Art Penner, gets the number 2. And Dennis Hollenbeck will be first to leave the line in that class. John Gonzalez is the only stock full entrant, 8125, no draw. Class 3, Donald Moss, no draw, he's the only entrant. And in Class 5, 1600, we have 3 entrants, but 1 is a rear start request, so only 2 will be drawn tonight. 555, Thomas Fernandez, and 553, Armando Garcia. Thomas Fernandez is first off the line. And that leaves Armando Garcia with the second starting position. Class 3000, Chad Broughton is a no draw. And next I have 2 entrants in Class 7, Dan Chamley and Brandon Walsh. All right, and Dan Chamley of Class 700 is the first to be drawn. first position, so no change there. Dan Chamley, 700 first, 701 Brandon Walsh comes second. For class half 1600, I have 3 rear start requests. And as per usual, if you draw number 1, you actually get the most rear starting position. So first for the draw is Eli Lee in his rear start request for class 1600. And he draws the second rear start. And Miguel Cortez, number 1605, draws the third rear start. And the very rear start will be Marco Venegas,